All right, Larry Kruger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Well, it looked like yesterday the 49ers had their linebacker position sewn up, at least temporarily, at least going into the draft when they signed Eric Kendricks to a 1-year deal. But then Kendricks said, Mike Zimmer coached me for so long in Dallas. I think I'd rather be a Dallas Cowboy. And so now he is a Dallas Cowboy. So up next, we will do a video for you on what I think are the 5 best linebackers still available in free agency. But first, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue you're going to find. We're also brought to you by Aura Fantasy, or I should say Aura, not Aura Fantasy, but Aura. And later on in the video, we'll let you hear about Aura. All right, who are the 5 best linebackers that are still available now that Kendricks has said no to the Niners? Do they wait to the draft? Do they go for a linebacker in free agency? Well, it's slim pickings, but there are some guys who can flat out play. Number 5 on the list, Isaiah Simmons. He's only 25. He's 6'4". He's 240. He's played with Arizona. He's played with the New York Giants. Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? He's a great athlete is what he is. And he moves incredibly well at 6'4", 6'5", 240. He's not the most instinctive player, but as far as if you're looking for an athletic body who can, man that spot and compete with Jalen Graham and D. Winters for that linebacker spot, I think Simmons can do that, and he's only 25. Another guy to consider is Jerome Baker. Now, I know some people look at him as more of an outside backer. I think he's a stacked backer, though, the former Buckeye, former Miami Dolphin. He's only 27. He had some big tackle totals in some of the games this year. He's a very productive, fast football player. This guy can close space in a blink of an eye, and I love Jerome Baker. He may be more of an outside backer than a stacked inside backer, but I think he's scheme versatile enough to play inside. Number 3 on the list, I would say, is Zach Cunningham, the former Philadelphia Eagle, the former Tennessee Titan. I love Cunningham in college at Vandy. He's 6'3", 240. He had 85 tackles this year. He made a lot of plays. This guy's big and rangy and fast, and if you keep his legs protected like the Niners typically do with their defensive line and you let him just run and hit, I think you're going to like what you get. And I know Cunningham's been around the block on a couple different teams, but I really like him. I think he's instinctive. He's fast. He makes plays. He made plays at Vandy. He's made plays everywhere he's been. I mean, look at his game logs. The guy does nothing but tackle running backs over and over and over again, 85 tackles this year. And he's still relatively young at 29. So I like Zach Cunningham. All right, the 2 at the top of the list are the guys that I actually really think I would go after if I were the 49ers. And one is Devin Bush, the former Michigan Wolverine, who was in Seattle this year. He's only 25, 5'11", 235 pounds. But this guy, Devin Bush, is so instinctive. And I just really think that his best football's ahead of him. He's only 25. I saw him late in the year, again, when Seattle played Pittsburgh. He had 18 tackles in that game in December. 18 tackles. So, granted, he might have been lit up going against his former team, but Devin Bush is real. He can run, he can hit, he's got instincts. I think he'd be a great replacement if they have to go, into the free agent market for a linebacker. And the last guy on the list is Devin White from Tampa Bay. Number 5 pick overall in 2019. He's only 26. You look at his career, he's been awesome. Tampa's not going to sign him. They already re-signed Levante David. There's no chance he's going back there. So he's leaving. And he's won a Super Bowl before, and with timely blitzes of Mahomes. This guy's a great player. He came into the league, he had 140 tackles in year 1, 128 in year 2, 124 in year 3. This year he's coming off a year where he only had 83 tackles, but that's still a lot of tackles. He shoots gaps. He can sack the quarterback. He can play the run. There's a lot to like about Devin White. So to me, Devin White is exactly what the Niners need. They need that kind of player. They need the kind of player that, you can just absolutely count on to be a force on game day. And that's what Devin White is. I mean, he played on an incredible Tampa defense. They won a Super Bowl together with Tom Brady. I really think Devin White is one of the most underrated players that's really was available in free agency to begin with. And I view him as basically a top 15 kind of a player. And to be able to get him on day 3 of free agency, I think would be fantastic. Now the Niners did talk to Levante David, but he signed back with Tampa Bay. And then you got Devin White, who's much younger. He's like a pass rushing inside linebacker since he came into the league. Loved him at LSU. He's not solely a run stopper. His coverage grades are just okay. But I mean, this guy's got high upside and high level athleticism and youth on his side. He's fresh. He's healthy. He's physically overpowering. He's probably not as well rounded a player as he would have been if he had been in a different system. They allow him to shoot gaps and have total freedom to burst at the quarterback through these, through the gaps, delayed blitzes, and he's really good at it. And the Niners should do a little bit of that as well. But I think if you work him a little bit more as just a general inside linebacker and just allow him to, use his instincts as a delayed blitzer and basically say, hey, look, Devin, we need you to stop the run and play a little tighter in coverage. I think this is a player that can do it. As I said, he's one of the youngest free agents on the marketplace at 25. He's already won a Super Bowl. Those production totals of 140, 128, 124. I mean, how many players in football in the last decade have put together 3 years in a row of 140 tackles, 128, and 124? I mean, that's a ton of production. So I'm a huge fan of Devin White. I know it will cost a pretty good buck to get him, but Devin White or Devin Bush would be fantastic ads. And to me, they would be better than Kendricks. And I still am confident the Niners could go into the draft and find a Cedric Gray. I think there's some good linebackers that are going to be available on day 3 of the draft. Muasau, the UCLA kid, is really impressive. The SEC Defensive Player of the Year, Kalen DeLoach from Florida State. I mean, there's some pretty good linebackers that are going to be on the board after the 5th round. So the Niners could go there. But, man, Devin White or Devin Bush, they could sign one of those guys. I think that would be a phenomenal signing and make the fans forget that Kendricks bolted to Dallas. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor. And now a word from our sponsor, Aura. Have you ever typed your name on the internet and seen all of your private information is online? Are you tired of receiving tons of spam calls from random numbers? Are you receiving more and more of these as time has gone on? Well, that's where Aura, the sponsor of today's show, can really help you out. Data brokers sell your information to scammers and spammers and anyone else who may want to target you. Your full name, your email, your home address, all your records, your health records, who your relatives are. It's all out there. That's why I've been using Aura. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use the information to help them access my social media accounts, my bank accounts, or any other sensitive information. Aura also does so much more to protect me and my family from online threats I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up. And best of all, I get everything at one affordable price. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to the link in the description to start your 2-week free trial. And thanks to Aura for sponsoring The Krug Show. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.